Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, our good friend Jimmy in Boston is going to be all ecstatic, all excited, just like that. An episode of My Friend Irma starring Marie Wilson, and we're going back to January 1st, 1949, and I guess the breakup between Irma and Al is still top of mind.
For the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Lever Brothers Company presents the Pepsodent Show, My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard and starring Marie Wilson as Irma with Joan Banks as Jane.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect friendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
Well, here it is, January the 3rd, the beginning of a new year. 1948 has slipped into the past, and yet, thanks to my roommate, Irma Peterson, I will remember it as long as I live. For it was in 1948 that Irma did the following memorable things. A. She bought a refrigerator without a motor because she felt that without any moving parts, there was nothing to go out of order. B. It was in 1948 that she gently took my new sealskin coat and put it in the bottom of the bathtub while she poured water and ice over it because it was Be Kind to Animals Week. And C, it was also in 1948 when Irma's boss, Mr. Clyde, told her he wished to speak to a client in Dallas, Texas, person to person. So Irma wired him the fare for a round-trip ticket. That was all in 1948. 49 is starting out even worse. Why? Because Irma has at long last broken off with Al. And day and night for the past 3 days, America's #1 fugitive from an honest buck has been bombarding his chicken with various notes and tokens of his love. On Friday, it was a letter which went,
Dear Chicken, I cannot understand how you could break up our romance after all we've gone through. We used to count on each other so much. Now that you've left me, I can no longer eat. I go without breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Don't cry, honey. It's not your fault.
Yes, it is. He used to count on me for those things.
I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, but unless you take me back, I will throw myself under the wheels of a subway train from the top of the Empire State Building. And on the way down, I will stab myself several times, fatally. And if that don't work, I will take poison. And if nothing happens by the time I hit the ground, we'll do something desperate.
He's figured more angles than a 4-way cold tablet.
It's too bad things have to come to this sudden end, just when I thought of a real money-making plan.
Oh, no.
Yes, a plan that would make us rich. It's a special weight recorder for wives who are suspicious of their husbands. A device which can be attached to the husband's chair at the office. When his secretary sits on his lap, the additional weight is recorded, and the wife has got him with the goods. So you see, Chicken, unless you have a change of heart, the world will lose a great mind. Adios, Al.
That was Friday. Early Saturday morning, a single lily was delivered to Irma. A lily which I am quite certain I saw clasped between folded hands in the window display of Hocker's mortuary. And on the card, tenderly inscribed, were these immortal words.
Dear Chicken, I send you this single lily Because the hands that last held them were as cold as your heart. Desperately, Al.
So much for Saturday. On Sunday, sheer grief gives way to determination in the form of a love poem, a work of deathless art.
Dear chicken, like a little squirrel needs his nuts, I must have you and no one but.
Enough to tear your heart out, isn't it? But all this hasn't made the least impression on Irma. She's completely wrapped up in thoughts of her new boyfriend, Melvin Baxter.
Jane,
What, Irma?
what do you really think of Melvin?
Well, from what I've seen of him, he strikes me as being reliable, ambitious, and sincere.
I suppose you're right, but I can't see where he's so reliable.
What do you mean?
We've been out together 4 times, and he hasn't even kissed me once.
Well, maybe he's a bit bashful.
Gee, Al was different. He kissed me 4 times before we were introduced.
Irma, you sound as if you're still a little sweet on Al.
Oh, no, Al is a forgotten chapter. Since I've been going places with Melvin, life is just a new thrill. You don't know what it means to a girl to go on a subway with a man and have him pay your fare.
I have lived a little, too.
And Melvin is so considerate.
Look, honey,
sweet.
you can tell me all about it while we walk down to the beauty parlor, huh?
Oh, all right, Jane, let's go.
Now, what were you saying about... Oh, look, Irma, there's another letter in the mailbox. And I think it's from guess who?
Oh, let me see.
Well, read it while we walk, huh?
All right. Dear Chicken, you have refused to see me. Well, let me warn you. If you are thinking of marrying another man, do not waste time learning to cook for him, since he will be on a liquid diet because I will knock out all his teeth. Devotedly, Al. Oh, gee, Jane, this is terrible.
Why?
I have just given Melvin a tube of Pepsodent for Christmas.
Irma, watch where you're going. You'll trip over that man tying his shoelaces. Oh, it's Professor Kropotkin and Mrs. O'Reilly.
Hello, Janie, and Irma, my 2 little darlings.
Oh, girls, I'm so glad to see you. The professor here has been trying to tell me my hair isn't natural red.
Of course it is, Professor. I was with her when she bought it. It said natural red on the box.
Irma.
That was my hair net.
But what's the difference? Professor, I'm surprised at you. I thought the 2 of you had made up over the holidays.
Not a chance. Not after last night. I went into my room and I thought Mrs. O'Reilly had given me a beautiful crystal chandelier. But when I turned on my gas heater, I was almost killed.
How come?
The icicles melted and came down on my head.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And when I complained to Mrs. O'Reilly, she says I have an advantage none of her other tenants have. In my room, I can never get lost, because when I lie in bed, I can see the North Star through the ceiling.
Oh, you and your beefing. You almost made me forget to give Jane Richard's message.
Oh, did Richard call me?
Yes, Janie. Just go inside and use my phone.
Oh, thanks. Wait for me, Irma.
Tell me, Irma, how's the new romance with Melvin?
Oh, he's so sweet and kind. And I know he likes me because he broke off with his girl, Myrtle.
Myrtle?
Yes, and I'm proud because that's the test of a man's devotion.
Indeed it is. When my poor departed Clancy met me, he was going with another girl, but he broke off with her. I understood she felt terrible.
But she got over it very quickly and married Julius Caesar.
Oh, Professor, you're always kidding. I saw the picture. Julius Caesar is married to Vivian Lee.
Oh, come on, Irma. I've got to hurry.
Must be a big date. Well, I'll see you later, girls. Be careful, Mrs. O'Reilly. You'll fall into that ash can and they don't collect it till Wednesday.
Oh, not so fast, Jane. You'll get to the beauty pie?
Well, I don't want to be late. Richard is taking me out tonight, and you and Melvin are invited.
Gosh, how did this happen?
Well, he just explained that one of his clients is in some sort of scandal, and while Richard isn't involved directly, he doesn't want to be any place where he can be pestered by reporters. You know how he hates publicity.
Oh, of course, I understand.
So the four of us will go to some nice, quiet place. Oh, here's the beauty parlor. You coming in, Irma?
No, I just want to walk through the slush and think of Melvin.
Well, I'll see you later, honey.
I'm in the mood for love simply because
Chicken.
Simply because
Chicken.
you're... If you don't go away and let me finish this song, I'll call an officer.
Now listen to me, Chicken. You don't know what this separation has meant to me. I lay in bed at night thinking of you, and my heart beats a savage tattoo.
I'm sorry, Al, but having pictures on your chest isn't going to make any difference to me.
Please, Chicken. Haven't I given you the best years of my life?
Al, ever since I've known you, you've been in the unemployment line.
Well, those are my best years. Look, Chicken, I can't take any more of this. My whole life is all mixed up. I'm so confused, I put my hand in the wrong pocket this morning when I went to make a phone call.
What do you mean?
Used a nickel instead of a slug. Chicken, I'm disintegrating right in front of your eyes.
Oh, please, Al, not in front of strangers. It's all over between us. I love Melvin.
Melvin. That's the guy that's been poisoning your mind against me with his fanatical talk about working.
You leave Melvin out of this.
Please, Chicken, how can you do this? After all, we were inseparable. Like Trilby and Svengali, and Damon and Pythias.
Oh, Al, you're talking about cities I haven't even been to. It's no use, Al. I want Melvin.
Chicken, if I can't have you, no one will.
Al, if you don't stop talking like that, I'll call a policeman. Now go.
Okay, I'll go. But I warn you, if that Melvin comes to see you tonight, you better tell him to wear a football helmet, because I'm going to kick him right in the end zone.
Well, hello, sweetie. Well, Irma, what's wrong? You look all upset.
Oh, it's nothing. Besides, when Richard gets here, everything will be all right.
Richard? What do you mean?
Oh, when the policeman comes, he can be a witness.
Policeman? Witness? Irma, what are you driving at?
Oh, I ran into Al on the street, and he's coming over tonight to murder Melvin.
Oh, no. And Richard doesn't want publicity. Irma Peterson, why do you always have to get mixed up in these things?
I don't know, Jane. I guess I'm just a good mixer.
January 3rd, 1949, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. January 3rd, 1949, Marie Wilson and Joan Banks in My Friend Irma.
Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. If you feel a slippery coating, you have film on your teeth, and you need Pepsodent with Irium to remove it. For film is worse than you think.
Film collects stains that make your teeth look dull.
Pepsodent toothpaste removes film, makes your teeth look bright.
Film harbors germs that cause unpleasing breath.
Pepsodent removes film, makes your breath fresh and clean.
Film glues acid to your teeth. The very acid many dentists agree is the cause of tooth decay.
Pepsodent toothpaste removes film and the acids it contains.
Film never lets up. It forms continually on your teeth.
Yes, you have to fight film every day. So brush your teeth twice a day with Pepsodent toothpaste, because no other toothpaste can duplicate Pepsodent's film-removing formula. No other toothpaste contains Irium or Pepsodent's gentle polishing agent. So start now to fight film. Brush your teeth twice a day with Pepsodent, the toothpaste with an exclusive formula for removing film.
Just about beside myself with anger. Richard, who is purposely taking me out tonight to some out-of-the-way place to avoid publicity, is about to walk into a homicidal spotlight. And Irma is completely unconcerned. She is lost in her dream world. How do I know? Because she's putting mascara on her fingernails and nail polish on her eyelashes. Irma.
Oh, what is it, Jane? Oh, look what I did to my nails.
Look, honey, I'll make excuses for the fact that you think you're in love, but I refuse to let your love affairs come between Richard and myself.
Oh, Jane, I don't think I will start a fight with my new boyfriend, Melvin, when we go out tonight.
But he's liable to. The four of us are going out, and if there's a fight, Richard is going to be standing right there when the police arrive.
So what? He can just say he was watching in self-defense.
Irma, don't be ridiculous. Now, look, sweetie, you've got to go down to the corner and tell Al to be a gentleman.
Well, what shall I tell him?
Just say you have no respect for men who use brute force and resort to violence, and you insist he leave Melvin alone. Now, can you remember that?
I think so.
Let's hear it once to make sure.
All right, I have no respect for men because I'm going to resort with a brute if I have to use violence.
No, Irma. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'd better go down myself.
Jane, believe me, I will never start a fight.
Well, what makes you so sure?
Well, because fighting is too much like work. And that's enough to make Al sick.
Say, you've got something there. I never thought of it that way.
Oh, certainly, Jane. This is going to be a quiet evening.
Well, now I'm relieved. Oh, Richard will be here any minute. I'd better start dressing.
Oh, Jane.
Yes, sweetie.
You don't have to be afraid to wear your new evening gown when you go out with Richard tonight because I fixed it.
Oh, that's nice. What? You fixed it?
Yes, I didn't want you to catch cold, so I patched up the front and the back.
Irma, that's the new neckline. Where is it? Well, thank goodness you sewed it by hand. I can get these stitches out without too much trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jane, but in this weather, I thought...
You get the phone. I'll slip my dress on.
All right. Hello? Oh, it's you, Al. Huh? No, Melvin isn't here yet. But, Al, I don't want you to start a fight up here because... Oh, you don't intend to? Oh, all right. Yes, I know you're being considerate. Thank you. Goodbye. Jane?
Yes, Irma?
You see, all your worries were for nothing. That was Al.
Oh, wonderful. Then he isn't coming up here to start a fight.
No, he said he'd start out front because there's more room to swing.
What? Oh, Irma.
Gina, I'm sorry I got you in a mess, but to me it's also romantic.
Romantic?
Yes. Just imagine two men fighting over me. Little me, the center of attractions. It's like two birds fighting over a worm. Jane, my life was nothing, and now I'm suddenly become important. Two men are fighting over me savagely, furiously, like two Roman alligators.
That's gladiators. And Irma, I don't see anything romantic about it.
Ooh, I do. Personally, I think love is too tame these days. I'd like to go back to the days of the cavemen.
Oh, I suppose you'd like to be pulled across the countryside by your hair?
Oh, I wouldn't mind as long as I knew that someday my husband could afford a car.
Come in.
Hello, girls.
Oh, Mrs. O'Reilly, you're just the person I want to see.
Why, Jane, you look upset. Is there anything wrong?
Everything is wrong. Irma's new boyfriend, Melvin, is coming over tonight, and Al says he's going to beat him up.
Well, now, if there's anyone he'll listen to, it should be Irma here.
Irma? She is looking forward to it. She thinks it's romantic to have men fighting over her.
Oh, I know how she feels. When I was a young girl, I met two fine lads at a dance. And when it was over, they started a fight to see which one was going to take me home. The best-looking boy won, and I was very disappointed.
Why?
The loser had to take me home. Don't worry, Janie. If Al starts anything tonight, I'll call the police.
Oh, no, Mrs. Riley. Not the police, ever. Richard will be here, and right now he can't afford to be involved in any trouble.
Well, I don't think there'll be any trouble. If I know Al, it's more likely he'll try to talk Melville into stepping out of the picture. He's probably figuring out an angle right now.
Out some way to give that Melvin the work so we'll stay away from chicken. And in a case like this, there's only one man who can help me. Who else but... Hello, Joe. Al, got a problem. Want to get rid of a rival, but don't want to get in any trouble. What is my move? Make it look like he was hit by a truck, huh? How do I do that? Get a baseball bat and tie a license plate on the end of it. Joe, you are a genius. Thank you and goodbye, noble friend.
Well, I guess Mrs. O'Reilly was right. I was just letting my imagination get the best of me. Everything is calm and peaceful. And I can't wait for Richard to get here. Irma, of course, is anticipating Melvin with ecstasy beyond delight.
Oh, this is going to be fun. My Friend Irma Marie Wilson from January 3rd, 1949, here on Classic Radio Theater.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a health care plan you don't like, right now is a great time to switch to MediShare. They'll waive your new member fee if you join by January 15th. So that's $170 in addition to all the other savings. The typical family saves $500 or more per month. And MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate when compared to health insurance. Double. Again, join by January 15th and save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
Mike Lindell, the inveterate CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to listeners. You can get great discounts on all MyPillow products if you go to mypillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Deep discounts on all MyPillow products, like the buy one get one free special on Giza Dream sheets. All MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty. Call 1-800-951-8175 or go to mypillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Use my promo code USA. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of My Friend Irma from 72 years ago, January 3rd, 1949.
Right now, she has a sunshine biscuit in her mouth and the book of knowledge on her head. That's to show Melvin she's a smart cookie. Clever? But this I cannot understand. She has just taken a $10 bottle of Madame Cerise perfume and thrown it out the window. Irma, what's the idea?
I just read in the paper that Madame Cerise got divorced. If the perfume didn't do her any good, how can it help me? After all, I want to impress Melvin.
Why?
Why? Well, remember, he gave up his girlfriend Myrtle for me.
Yes, I know all about that, but you don't have to stand by the window looking at the moon like a lovesick calf.
Oh, but the moon fascinates me, Jane. I remember when I was a little girl, they used to say the moon was made of green cheese.
Yes, I know. But we all outgrew that fairy story.
Fairy story? Jane, there's a scientific explanation for it.
That the moon is made of green cheese?
Yes, it was once part of the Milky Way, but a big lump got loose and curdled.
Thank you, Irma Einstein.
Oh, please, Jane, come here and look. I've never seen the moon so beautiful. The way it's beaming down the fire escape and on the clothesline and on the steps and the street and on that man standing there with a baseball bat.
A baseball bat? Let me look. Irma, that's Al. I wonder what he's doing with a baseball bat.
Well, it's obvious he's lost me, so he's taking up a hobby.
Oh, no. He must be waiting for your new boyfriend, Melvin. Oh, Irma.
Oh, don't open the door, Jane.
Oh, be still. Who's there?
It is I.
That's Richard. Anyone else would say it's me.
Come in.
Hello, girls. Well, Jane, what's wrong? You're pale.
Richard, Richard, I don't know how to begin. Oh, Richard.
For heaven's sake, what's wrong?
Didn't you see Al? He's downstairs.
Well, I thought I saw someone standing in the shadows, but he didn't speak. What's going on?
Al is waiting for Irma's new boyfriend with a baseball bat. Now, Richard, I know you don't want to be involved,
This is all I need tonight. I'd better go down and talk with him.
I'm going to open the window. I want to hear what Al says. Isn't this wonderful, Jane?
It's ecstatic. I haven't had so much fun since that day you put shellac in my hair shampoo.
Shh. Jane, I'm trying to hear what the boys are saying down there.
But, Al, after all, you're a gentleman. You must take these things like a sport.
I am a sport. Tonight I'm playing baseball, and Melvin's head is the ball. Root, Richard, you don't know how much I love my Irma.
Listen to that, Jane. He still loves me.
When I see her, it's like putting my tired feet in a bucket of Epsom salts. The sound of her voice is like the welcome sound of a siren heralding a jailbreak. And the touch of her hand is like the delicate caress of a pickpocket's fingers.
Poetry, sheer poetry. Jane, isn't it enough to turn any girl's head?
Yes, and her stomach, too. Oh, look, Richard's coming back.
Gee, I wonder what Al's going to do.
Oh, I don't know, Irma, but pull down that shade.
All right, but, Jane, let's hurry up and change.
Change? What are you talking about?
Well, the way things are shaping up, I think we should all wear sports clothes.
Don't you dare move, Irma Peterson. And let me tell you one thing. If Richard breaks off with me because of this fantastic nightmare, Oh, Richard, any luck?
No, I pleaded with Al, but he has some silly notion about men fighting for their women. He says it's the law of the jungle, that the strong must devour the weak.
Oh, my goodness. To think that all these years I've been going around with a cannibal.
Let me in. Let me in.
Ooh, that's Melvin. Do come in.
Gangway.
What's happened?
What's happened? Some crazy farmer chased me up the steps with a baseball bat.
Farmer?
Yeah. He kept screaming and muttering something about I stole his chicken.
That's no farmer. That's me.
What?
I mean, I'm the chicken. The man with a baseball bat is my old boyfriend, Al.
Oh, so that's who he is. Well, nobody's scaring me off. I like you, Irma. After all, I gave up Myrtle for you, and you're going to be mine. I'm going right back down there and fight it out with Al, man to man.
Oh, Melvin, promise you'll be careful.
Oh, I'm not even afraid.
Don't let him hit you on the head. Remember, you have to be at work early.
Don't give it a second thought. I'm afraid of nothing. But, Irma, if you don't mind, lift the shade a little. I want to see where Al is standing, so he doesn't have too much of an advantage with that baseball bat.
All right.
Now, let me see.
What's the matter, Melvin? Melvin, you look white. Melvin, aren't you going down to face Al?
No, I can't go down. We got to stay here all night.
But you said you weren't afraid of Al.
Take a look. Myrtle's down there with him, and she's also got a baseball bat.
Oh, that makes it more interesting.
Interesting? Why?
I thought it was just going to be a ball game, but it's going to be a doubleheader.
Was some night. I didn't get to go out with Richard, but my dress did. We put it on Melvin, and Richard took him home. As for Irma, her status is still the same. Al is still threatening, and Melvin is still afraid to come around. In fact, every time Irma has a date with Melvin, she takes along a shopping bag. Irma, what's the idea?
Well, Al says he'll tear Melvin to pieces, and I want something to bring him home in.
And you know, if anyone finds a missing piece, it probably came from the mind of my friend Irma.
My Friend Irma is produced and directed by Cy Howard and stars Marie Wilson as Irma with Joan Banks as Jane. Mark Levy writes the script with Stanley Adams and Roland McLean, and it is brought to you by Pepsodent Toothpaste with Irium, another fine product of Lever Brothers Company. The part of Al was played by John Brown. Hans Conried is Professor Kropotkin. Gloria Gordon was heard as Mrs. O'Reilly. Music was under the direction of Lud Gluskin.
From January 3rd, 1949, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater.
America's founders knew power corrupts. And ultimate power corrupts ultimately. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why they built in checks and balances to prevent any one group from seizing all power.
And that's why our president is elected by a college of electors to protect the rights of little states like Delaware and Wyoming against giants like New York and California. After all, our country is a republic, the United States of America, not the United State. Our states are independent sovereign powers who created the federal government, not the other way around.
And that's why all power ultimately lies in we the people and the states, not a central dictatorship of cronies. Did you know that? Thank God for the U.S. Constitution.
Find out more how our amazing Constitution and Bill of Rights protect us, the citizens, against power-crazed politicians in Washington. Help us take back America. Go to ouramericanrights.com. Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Now on Classic Radio Theater, Chandu the Magician. This episode originally broadcast January 3rd, 1949.
In a tiny Siamese jungle village, Dorothy Regent has entered the forbidden Temple of the Serpent, believing Betty to be inside. The menacing pagan priest proves to be the Chinese the Regent had met in Singapore. He refuses to believe Dorothy's denial that Robert Regent has stolen the great emerald, said to confer miraculous occult powers on its possessor. And as the jungle drums beat out their terrifying rhythm, the priest intones the sentence of sacrifice to the Cobra God. From an inner room pours a pack of shouting natives. Dorothy struggles to break away. In the melee, the priest falls to the floor just as Frank Chandler bursts in. But in spite of all he can do, Dorothy is dragged away, accused of killing the priest. The present scene is in the living room of Dr. Shaw's bungalow, perched high on pilings across the jungle clearing from the temple. Chandu, the Magician.
Oh, I wish we'd never come to this awful place. The jungle's just like some horrible animal opening its mouth.
For Pete's sake, Beth, you've got to stop talking like that. You're not going to help Mom any by going nuts.
I can't help it, Bob. Whenever I think how terrible it must be in that hut, I can't bear it.
Yeah. I don't see why Dr. Shaw can't talk those natives into letting Mom go. A lot of good he is.
Oh, even Uncle Frank can't do anything.
And the way Dad looked when he came walking up the path. And Uncle Frank told him about Mom. Doggone it. If Uncle Frank had let me go over there with him, I bet we could have got her out of there somehow.
Oh, now, Bob, you could not. Uncle Frank said there were 50 of those natives. Oh, why would Mother go into that temple after all she said to us about it?
Well, there's no use just sitting here and talking. We have to think of something to do.
Oh, what could we do?
I don't know, but look.
Huh?
We wouldn't be here at all if the Yogi hadn't sent Uncle Frank that message. By golly, he can just get Mom out of that place. I'm going to hunt up Uncle Frank and tell him so.
Come back here, Bob. You don't even know where he went.
Can't be much farther, Robert. Dr. Shaw said the chief's hut was just beyond a bend in the river.
You'll have to do the talking, Frank. I'd be sure to say something to offend him.
Wait. There's a hut with a fire burning in front of it.
There's a man sitting there. See him?
Yes. He must be the one.
Good Lord. Dorothy's life in the hands of an ignorant savage like that.
I'm afraid so.
You are Batong, the chief of your people?
I am chief of this village. Come closer. You are the Sab, whose woman is in temple of Cobra God.
I am her brother. The Sab with me is her husband. We have come in peace.
Sit by my fire. But there is no peace between you and my people.
Sit here with me, Robert. Across the fire.
Ask him if he wants money.
We want no money. Woman has killed priest of temple. She must die.
If the woman had done this evil thing, she would deserve the sentence of death. But I know she is innocent.
She had no weapon.
A woman's hand may hide a knife.
She'd have no reason to kill him.
There was no reason to enter doors of temple. Yet woman opened them, defiling the altar where no woman has been.
Batong, you are wise, or you would not be the chief. I was in the temple, too. I know my sister did not kill the priest. I tell you, I know.
The mouth of foreigner is filled with lies.
Can't you tell when a man is speaking the truth?
I have heard the false words of foreigners who swear they speak truth.
I know, Batong. Some men of every country speak false words.
Nothing can save one who defiles temple. To pour out blood of any man who serves jungle god is evil. But to kill temple priest is greatest of all evil. Leave woman in village and go.
Frank, in heaven's name.
Look at me, Batong. The fire is bright on my face. Do you think I am lying when I say the woman is innocent?
Stop. It is too late.
What? Those men haven't killed her already.
Time has not yet come.
Then what do you mean?
My people heard priest himself say the woman must die. I can do nothing.
Is there anyone who can? Is there a higher chief than yourself?
Deep in jungle lives one who sees in darkness. You could not go to him.
The high chief? Batong, if he sends you a message to release the woman, will you?
His heart knows the ways of foreigners. He will not listen.
Will you wait until we try? Will you give me your word not to carry out the sentence of death until we have seen the high chief?
Time has not yet come.
Let her come back to the bungalow while we wait for the message.
No.
She will not run away. I swear it.
No.
Will you give one of us permission to see her? Her husband or me?
You take too much trouble for a woman.
Will you?
If it is the will of Cobra God, tomorrow, I tell you.
You can't mean you're going to...
Robert, don't spoil things now. Shall I come to you here tomorrow, Batong?
I sent one of my people to tell you. It was an evil moment when you brought your women into my village.
We will take them both away the moment my sister is released.
I say no more tonight.
I see. Well, come on, Robert. Remember, Batong, I have not lied.
Here they are, Bets.
You didn't bring Mother.
No, Betty. We talked to the village chief, and he wouldn't let her go.
Oh.
Hey, Dad, sit down here. You look bushed.
Oh.
I can't bear to think Mother's whole life depends on whether some old native says yes or no. Oh, how could anybody think Mother killed that man?
Chief Batong believed what the temple attendant told him. I wouldn't be surprised if he killed the priest himself. He had a wicked-looking knife in his hand.
You mean the chief?
No, the man in the temple who spoke to me. Well, there's one more thing we can do.
I'll go and see that jungle chief, Frank. I'll make him listen to me.
Who? Where is this guy?
Somewhere in the jungle. Dr. Shaw surely knows how to get there.
Why don't you just go down to Bangkok and get the police, Uncle Frank?
Well, these people would know the minute the police started up the river.
But you could...
They'd hide your mother in the jungle, Betty, where nobody'd ever find her.
Oh, dear.
Frank, let's go and bring Dr. Shaw in here. If he knows where the man is, I'll start at once.
Dad, you could never find your way through the jungle.
I could take one of the natives as a guide.
You could if Dr. Shaw knows one you can trust.
I'll go and get Dr. Shaw.
Straight down the path at the back of the inn.
Uncle Frank, you look scared yourself. Don't you really think you can get Mother out of there before...
Don't think of that, Betty. Put it out of your mind.
Look, Uncle Frank, the yogi got us into this. You only brought us along because he said not to let us out of your sight.
I know, Bob.
That wasn't all he said, though. I remember now. It was something about a time of terror being at hand.
Hey, Uncle Frank, you haven't even tried magic yet. Why not?
Are you afraid, Uncle Frank? Is that what's the matter with you?
Yes, Betty. I am horribly afraid. I shouldn't admit it, even to myself.
Thanks very much, Dr. Shaw. I'll be ready.
But if you're afraid, we might as well give up.
I met Dr. Shaw just outside. He knows one of these fellows who's going with a message to the chief anyway.
When are you leaving, Dad?
Well, as soon as it's light enough to see the trail. Even the natives won't risk the jungle trails at night, he said, for fear of pythons.
Pythons? Oh.
Frank, before I start, isn't there a chance that with the things you learned in India...
Don't you suppose I've tried, Robert? I've thought of nothing else.
Oh, I wish I knew enough to help.
I know enough. The only reason I'm letting you make a trip through the jungle instead of going myself is that I hope somehow I can get Dot out of that place.
Bets, don't cry.
Listen, all of you. I'm going to try once more. Now. Go into the other room and leave me alone.
Okay. We can go into my room. Come on, Dad.
I know you can do it, Uncle Frank. I just know you can.
Close the door and don't come back until I call you. Well, I can still command the psychic summons at least. Oh, Yogi, my teacher, I beg you to help me now. It's gone, but I must do this. Dorothy, nothing can keep you in that place of darkness. Leave it and come to this room. I can't do it. I failed. It's true. Oh, Dot, I failed you. And all of you. Just when you need me most.
An episode of Chandu the Magician, as it was originally broadcast January 3rd of 1949. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater. As always, we ask you to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. The kindness of this radio station to keep us on the air is not lost on me, and neither should it be on you. They have so many choices of things to put on the air. We are more than appreciative that they do have us here on your favorite radio station. Now, I would also like to thank the advertisers because they pay the bills to keep your favorite station on the air. You know, that's how this works. That kind of symbiotic relationship, don't you know? So thank the stations and the advertisers. Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. That way you can stay in touch with us. You can contact me there. You can learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find links to all of our social media there. And you can hear all of our shows on demand. And not only there, but other places. Search for USA Classic Radio Theater, won't you please? USA Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great day. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.